take us back a bit before the awards and recognition. Who is Annie Zulu, and how did this journalism journey in journalism begin?
Thank you so much. Before the awards, I was just this curious girl with a big passion for truth telling. My journey started with a deep desire to give a voice to the voiceless, especially women and communities that are often overlooked. For me, journalism became my way of challenging injustice and telling stories that matter the most. It's been a rough but incredible journey so far.
All right, awesome. So what drew you specifically into investigative journalism, and like what made you stay especially in such a high pressure? And we know it's a risk prone field and most people are scared to venture into investigative journalism, but what drew your attention to be there?
Okay, so what really drew me into investigative journalism was the power it has to uncover hidden truth and hold those in power accountable.
Okay.
I've always felt that silence protects injustice, and investigative reporting breaks that silence. That made me stay. What made me stay despite the risk and pressure is the impact.
Okay.
When a story leads to justice, awareness, or change, even if it's just for one person, it reminds me why I do this. It's not just a job for me. It's a calling.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, nice. So let's talk about your documentary, Unmasking Sticker, the one that shook the system. Yeah, it did shook the system. What is the story behind that title, Unmasking Sticker? And yeah, what story were you basically trying to tell us, the ordinary citizens?
So Unmasking Sticker is a very special story that I hold so dear to my heart. It's a story that exposes the harsh reality of children living on the streets and the dangerous drugs that they're addicted to, which I discovered that is actually benzene or jet fuel. Every day when we walk through the streets of Lusaka, we pass these kids every day, seeing them holding clear small bottles with whitish substance, but rarely do we stop to ask, like, what is really in those bottles, or what pain are they trying to escape? So this documentary was a way of me asking those hard questions, or forcing society to see what often we choose to ignore. So it's about confronting a crisis that's right in front of us, yet hidden in plain sight.
Okay. Now I understand when you mentioned the fact that you were working with you tried to seek the truth from also looking at the people that you were working with are actually the street kids, and we know that the myths, the stories we have about street kids, they're harsh, they're harmful, they're what. So let's talk about the challenges that you had, because I know it was something that was directly related to them. So at some point you needed to interact with them in order for you to come to a conclusion of what you were working on. So what challenges did you face while putting the documentary together, like emotionally, logistically, or even in terms of access, especially looking at the fact that you are working with street kids who are on drugs?
Well, Temo, I can tell you this. There were so many challenges, emotionally, logistically, and even ethically. Working with street children meant gaining their trust, and that doesn't just happen overnight. These are kids who have been lied to, abused, and forgotten by society. So showing up with a camera wasn't enough. I had to show up as a human being first.
Okay.
Emotionally, it was heavy. Listening to children talk about sniffing jet fuel just to numb their hunger or trauma, it's something that stays with you. Somewhere as young as 7.
For reals.
Yes.
Yeah.
And logistically, filming in the street is quite unpredictable. There were safety concerns, constant movements, and movements when I just had to put the camera down and and just be present. And also, I ventured on that project alone.
Really?
So every course was on me. Yes. So that was kind of like draining on my part. But the biggest challenge, knowing I couldn't save everyone, that's the hardest part of this work. You tell the story, but you carry the weight of those faces long after the camera stops rolling.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, so was there ever a moment during that process where you questioned if it was worth it?
I would say yes. There were moments I questioned if it was worth it, especially when I felt overwhelmed by the pain these children were carrying, or when the risk felt so real. But every time I saw one of them open up, even just a little, I was reminded why I started. It's not easy exposing dark truths, but if even one policymaker watches and acts, or one person see these kids with more compassion, that makes it worth it. Their story deserves to be seen and heard. So for me, really giving up was really never an option. Yeah.
Okay. So now that the documentary has gained such recognition, what kind of impact have you seen on the ground? Like, has there been any change?
Yes, of course. There's been like a huge impact. Oh my God, I never even, I didn't have so much expectations that the documentary would have so much impact. I would tell you, even up to now, I still get calls, messages. Yeah. So after the documentary was aired on TV, and as well as I posted it on my YouTube channel, I received a lot of calls from organizations, individuals, even organizations and individuals from abroad.
Wow.
They would call me, email me to say, "Oh, Annie, what can we do for this for these kids?" Some of them would just maybe drop a message to say, "Oh, wow, that was good." Yeah, so it really had a huge impact.
Okay, this is really nice. So, as a young woman in media, especially doing this kind of gritty work, how do you keep your voice firm in an industry that often demands silence?
Thank you, Tema, for that question. So it's not easy as a young woman in investigative journalism, especially in spaces where I'm expected to be quiet or agreeable.
Yeah.
I've had to learn to stand my grounds. Gritty work like this isn't always welcomed. It challenges power, exposes pain, and it makes people uncomfortable. But I always remind myself, my voice isn't just mine. I carry voices of those who can't speak for themselves. And by this, I mean the children on the streets, abused women, and, trafficked girls. It's a whole lot. That gives me strength. I stay firm because silence protects the oppressor, and journalism for me is about breaking the silence.
Okay, wow. Wow. So, what does the she world mean to you as a storyteller, a woman, a Zambian? So, while we talk about diving into the she world, for you as a woman who's making these huge impact and changes in our society, what does the she world mean for you?
Well, the she world for me means a lot to me on many levels. As a storyteller, it's a platform that centers women's voices and experiences, stories that are too often overlooked and sidelined. As a woman, it's empowering to be part of a space that celebrates strength, resilience, and complicity of womanhood. And as a Zambian, it's a reminder that our stories matter, not just locally but globally. Yeah. So, yeah, the She World is about creating visibility, connection, and change. It's about owning our narratives and inspiring others to do the same.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. All right. So, to you, our dear listeners, in case you are just joining us today, we are diving into the she world, and I am honored to be here with Annie Zulu, an award-winning investigative journalism, and we are just